Everybody could take their seats. Call the meeting to order. The first order of business is to allow Paul to vote via teleconference. Is there a motion by Member Salzer, second by Member Blair? Please cast your vote. Motion carried. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you.
Next, that would bring us to the approval of the minutes for January 6th. Is there a motion to approve? Member Coates, Member Blair. Any comments or corrections? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Motion carried. All ayes. Next, that would bring us to the informational items. I'll move to receive and file those unless there's any questions on the Springdale long-term care, ARPA, or enterprise zone report. Seeing none, we'll move into the resolution. So the resolution recommending approval of a limited term extension of the City County Joint Commission of Racial Justice and Equity Charter through December 31st, 2027. Moved by Member Duncan and second by Member Coates. The floor is yours, Mr. Allen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, members of the Executive Committee of the County Board. Before you all today is a resolution to extend the current charter of the City County Joint Commission on Racial Justice and Equity. For those in attendance today and our audience online, just to provide some context, this City County Joint Commission was established in July of 2021. For two reasons primarily. One, a response to the unfortunate murder of George Floyd, but also two, as an opportunity for us to reflect on some of the inequities that exist within our own community and how we can, as local citizens, look to address those to ensure that both the city and the county are a place where everyone can feel and have a sense of belonging. Rather than us look at outside consultants that come in here with a fancy briefcase and tell us what our community needs, we had 160 volunteers step up to form 8 different working groups to address these challenges in our community. Those 8 working groups are focused on child and youth development, economic development and jobs, environment and climate, transportation and mobility, health and human services, housing, information and technology, and the criminal justice system. And then those 8 working groups are oversaw by a steering committee that is made up of a variety of different community leaders in our community. The current charter expired December 31st of 2025. And so we are looking to extend this charter for 2 years as we look to go down a different path. Over the last 5 years, we've had several successes, but we've also had our challenges. And we've learned about our community, and we have a good focus on what we want to continue to do. And that includes looking at the upward mobility framework through the Urban Institute. That attachment is in your packet there that you can reference that we'll be utilizing as a guiding light and a framework to move this work forward. We also talk about the fiscal impact of what this work does specifically for the county, and I talk about how we do cover the costs along with the city of Peoria when it comes to printing the annual report, as well as providing food and beverages at the annual meeting. That money is currently budgeted in our diversity, equity, inclusion unit of an estimated cost of $2,000. And then from an operational standpoint, myself and Human Resources, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Generalist Brittany Graves, we do supply staff support to a couple of the working groups. I do want to provide context that the City Council did approve its recharter at their December 9th, 2025 meeting. And so we are now looking for this body to move forward on that. I do want to talk a little bit about the attachments that you all had that featured the 3 annual reports that were published from the commission. I think it did a great job of not only creating both quantitative data, but also the qualitative data, the stories behind some of the challenges that are existing in our community. And again, the quantitative data of helping us make those data-driven decisions. You also had a copy of the Upward Mobility Framework that we'll be utilizing moving forward if this charter is extended. And then also, too, we highlighted 2 pilot programs that came from the commission that we are extremely proud of. The first is the Employment, Transportation, and Assistant pilot that was launched through our Economic and Jobs Commission. That pilot, and I included the one-pager in there, but that featured 48 graduates of ICC's Workforce Equity Program, which assisted those enrolled in their manufacturing, HVAC, healthcare programs there, and it allowed them to have transportation assistance, which we know often hinders those to be able to complete their program. And there are some statistics in that one page there. And then also to the digital equity pilot, which I've presented to you all on multiple occasions, but wanted to include that as a success story as well from this commission. We've got 48 people that are participating in the transportation pilot, and then 42 people currently participating in the digital equity pilot. So we're very excited about the work that we've done thus far, but there's more work ahead. Before I conclude and take any questions, I do want to take a point of privilege to acknowledge our co-chairs that are present in the audience today, Mr. Tom Pegger and Angela Bolden. If you all could at least give a wave and be acknowledged, we appreciate their work. They have really been a part of this from day one, and now are our co-chairs. And I also want to shout out Ms. Mary Peterson, our former co-chair, who is still involved in the commission, who has given so much sweat equity to this work, and we would not be here without her today. And then do I see my man Tim Birchie in the background back there? Tim, you got a turtleneck on? Look at Tim. Yeah, so many people have really came behind this work, and we appreciate the support of this body. We appreciate the support of County Administrator Sorrell and City Manager Urick, Chairman Dillon, and Mayor Dr. Rhea Ali as well too, as well as Human Resources Brittany Graves as well too. She's been really instrumental in supporting the different working groups. So I'll conclude with my statement now and field any questions, but we would really hope your support that we can extend this work for another 2 years and continue doing great things for our constituents. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Before we get to questions, I'd like to also recognize Member Brian's service originally, but Member Duncan has been our liaison here for the last year and a half to the committee. So I am going to turn over the floor to Tom and Angela to have a discussion and update the board from their end too. And I see that, the importance of this committee, that it brought Tim and Mary here to even support the new co-chairs who heavy lifting at the beginning. And as everybody knows, the longer things go on too, the heavy lifting to continue to keep people engaged and excited and to have those discussions is not an easy task. So we have two great new leaders that have taken over that task. And the Mia and the mayor had the privilege yesterday to sit down with them and have that conversation. And I just want to know that I appreciate the initial leadership and I appreciate the continued leadership that these four have stepped up, love Peoria, want to see it a better place, and are taking the time and talents. Plus, it is not easy to get community volunteers to anything, and that to still drive community volunteers to tackle some uneasy questions and get answers for us. So, with that, I'll turn over the floor to Tom and Angela. Thank you.
I'm not one to make speeches. So first thing, Andre asked for questions. Are there questions for Angela and I? Things that you saw in the advanced material that you'd like some more information on, or input that you want to give us to take back to the commission to continue the work that we're doing.
I take that as a good job.
Yeah. I mean, as Jimmy mentioned, we spent some time with him and with Dr. Ali just this week, talking about where the commission's at and where it can get stronger. As a group of volunteer citizens, just committing time, no staff, no direct resources of our own, we're an extension of the city and county. So the more part of our work that we're going to try to do in the next year or two, as Andre mentioned, besides using a kind of a proven formula that a number of communities around the country are using that we can benchmark. We're also going to be sitting down with Scott and Patrick Urick to make sure we're well aligned with the work that you're already doing and bring that community voice into that existing work rather than go off in a different direction of our own. So hope that helps.
I just wanted to say it has been a pleasure serving on this commission, and it's admirable to have a county board chairman and a city mayor and a county administrator and a city manager work so closely together. It has made this work really enjoyable for us. So thank you for your support.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Angela. And thank you, Tim and Mary, for being in attendance as well. Any other follow-up questions? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Well, everybody is casting their vote. As Andre had mentioned, that there's some training that's being looked at and some other things. Really, the county and city have put, there was some ARPA dollars that have gone into this originally to get it off the ground. But since then, there has been basically a volunteer and not a huge budget for that. And we rotate with the city and the county how to pay that. So as things that come up that could be beneficial for the community, I just wanted everybody to be aware there might, if not asking just for money for the ask, and I don't even know what I would be at, but if something comes up that would be beneficial, there might be an ask later on for us to actually put some money in this so that they can promote it or do training or just in general. So right now, this has not been a big financial thing, but just saying in the future, there might be an ask. Motion carried, all ayes. Paul, were you an aye?
Yeah, I voted
Okay.
aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, County Board members.
Next, bring us to committee action, review of the executive session minutes.
Thank you. Yes, it's a recommendation of the state's attorney's office that all previously held minutes continue to be held because the need for confidentiality does still exist, and to destroy the audio recordings of executive sessions that are more than 2 years old, except for those that relate to pending litigation.
Thank you. Motion to accept the recommendation of the state's attorney, Member Salzer, Member Blair. Please cast your vote. Motion carried, all ayes. Next, I'll bring us to standing committees. Member Salzer, Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have 6 resolutions. The first one, of course, is something that I think all of us pretty well know, and that is the need to do renovation in our jail, and we awarded contracts to various individuals. The company that got the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning was Rule, who's done work for us before, and the company of Laser, they're going to handle our electrical work out there. We're going to upgrade that kitchen, which is badly needed. A few of the items that were bid on were not accepted, and some of the things that need to be done eventually will be done at a later date, but they're going to move pretty rapidly on this. Kyle told us that he hoped that as soon as we approve it, that they'll get busy on it. And, as a result, it could be finished by perhaps late summer of next year. The cost was $294,000. The sheriff is going to handle that out of his budget. The second one, there was, of course, revision in regard to the Beck oil, and our people were able to work out some details for us, and as a result, we now have a contract on that situation out there. If you're not familiar with it, it's going to be they're involving 2 of our county roads, the Kickapoo and trying to think of the name of the other road. Help me out.
Civil defense.
What?
Civil defense.
Oh, the Civil Defense Road, yeah.
Civil Defense, Kickapoo Edwards Road.
Kickapoo Edwards, that's what I was trying to think of. I was trying to think of Edwards. And this is going to result, of course, in having to upgrade the Civil Defense Road, as well as make it easier for truck traffic to be handled by the people that are coming and going from the Beck facility. Everybody says, it's going to be a real important financial thing to us. Moving on, of course, the seal coating in Limestone Township, the amount of money that was bid on it was by Conan. He was the only bidder on this particular project of township seal coating, and it was $242,000. Sharon Road, starting to look good for the city. Now this is one of our roads, and of course we are going to once we get it finished. But what it is going to be an intergovernmental agreement between we and the city of Peoria, and it's going to involve Sheridan Road, basically from Glen to Northmore. And we already got $10 million from the state on this project. And our agreement with the city will be 50-50, and that means we each will have to split the things. If it goes over that 10 million, we'll share in the splitting of it, like easement, like if there's any more engineering, construction costs that were not expected, and there's probably several others. But next resolution. Let's see. Did I skip any so far? Airport Road and Taylor Road, of course, those are both going to be bridge jobs. And the one on Airport Road, we had to hire an engineer. The engineer's firm has worked for us before, Terra. And the area that will be dealt with will be there on Airport Road between Tuscarora and I was trying to think of Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer's the other part. And that's going to be somewhere around $67,000. We'll pay that engineering firm. The last one there, if I haven't skipped any, has to do with Taylor Ridge, and they're going to, our highway people did a good job of keeping up on inspecting these bridges, and that's why we're going to do some work on them. We're going to, we hope, extend the life of both of these bridges. And the Taylor Road is, of course, over there by Wildlife Prairie, and we're going to award that contract to an engineering firm that we've used before, if you remember, Maxwell Road and so forth, Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley. And we're going to hire that particular engineering firm for a little over $165,000. Mr. Chairman, that's as good as I can do.
Thank you, Member Salzer. Questions for Member Salzer? Well done. Thank you. Next, that would bring us to Member Duncan, Ways and Means.
Okay, the Ways and Means Committee had no resolutions, but of course the committee action, which passed unanimously.
Thank you, Member Duncan. Questions? Seeing none. Member Rulon for land use.
We had a zoning case and a waiver case from the same petitioner, a resident wanting to split a 42-acre parcel into approximately 20 and 22 acres for the benefit of a future generation to live on the family land. The waiver case had to do with that piece of land having only a 57-foot roadway frontage when our requirement is 60 feet. The zoning department recommended approval with the restriction that we would they would apply or record a permanent easement for the second parcel, and both of those, the zoning case and the waiver, passed our committee.
Questions for Member Rulon? Seeing none. Thank you, Member Rulon. Operations was canceled. Health was canceled. And that would bring us to Public Safety and Justice. Member Phelan.
Thank you. We had 3 resolutions on public safety and justice. They were all at the sheriff's office. The first one was for a grant rollover, and it was grant funds are used to purchase medications for detainee recovery process. The second one was a grant award that's going to be used to purchase, I think, 45 AEDs that will go into service with the sheriff's department. And the third one was for telecommunication services for the iPads and phones at the jail. All three passed unanimously.
Thank you. Questions for Member Phelan? Seeing none, thanks, Member Phelan. Member Williams, Finance.
Thank you. We had no resolutions. We just had the executive session minutes committee action, and that passed unanimously.
Thank you, Member Williams. That would next bring us to public comment. Miscellaneous. Is there anything for miscellaneous? Member Blair.
The entrepreneurship, the advisory committee on entrepreneurship and small business will be meeting February 10th to discuss the next round of grants.
Thank you, Member Blair. Okay, so quick updates. Thank you for everybody that reached out today on, they're at it again on asking for Apple gift cards to Celebration and wanting $200. So just remember when you check emails, I will never ask you for anything via email. So appreciate everybody that did. It happened to multiple people, and I know that's happened quite a few times here lately. So thanks for being diligent. Update. So we've engaged HR Fit. Shauna will be the point person as the county for that and there's hopefully by the end of this week have some sort of contractual terms from the original estimate. Might be a tweak here or there or an add-on here or there. I'm leaving that with it still would be in the purview of reasonable for that committee to decide. So Member Phelan has agreed to be on that committee. I gave Member Blair, Coates, and Rulin an out if they wanted out, but I have not heard that they wanted out. So we're still within our purview of having that, and I will have that committee actually be the ones that would be the point of contact with HR Fit for actually telling them. But Shauna will gather whatever information or her team so there's one point contact. And then lastly, for those wondering why there's a rules committee, please stick around afterwards if you would like to. But it's myself, Member Daly, Member Ricker, Member Salzer, Member Williams on that committee. And it is in regards to, we officially, unless we changed it, that was in the last minutes of who was on it. So I don't remember who's, oh, sorry, it's changed. Dylan, Ruland, Ricker. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Allison, Blair, Bryant, myself, Ricker, and Rulin as the vice chair. Okay. Sorry, that was on an old dated one. Sorry, Williams and Daly. So the committee itself is to discuss, we have rules in regarding public comment for the full board, but we've never clarified that. We added public comment for committees, but we never clarified a time limit with the consent of the board to go over. So we would like to make that consistent with what the full board is, that we have 30 minutes divided by ever how many speakers for rules. And then if the board chooses to go over that 30 minutes, that it is a decision of the board. But as things come and progress, we need to make sure that there is a time frame in that is considered reasonable, that is allowed to be put on there. So that is what rules is about. I know we typically don't have rules mid term, so that is why. So Member Williams.
Since not everybody was here yesterday, do you want to have a report on the jail and what's kind of happening and what we're going to be coming before us in the next couple months, month or so, on the timeline?
I can, so t- timelines is, Kyle did say that they have the basically draft for an RFQ to hit the streets for engagement of an A&E firm. And then that will be to review here to the state's attorney. So within a month or two, that document would be, month or two's fair statement, I would think, is to have that document out on the streets to engage the actual firm for um, A&E design for the jail, which kudos to PJ Hare and Kyle for doing that. The big first step is this kitchen remodel, which is underneath the original RFQ. And as Member Salzer said, there was some painting and drywall that can, in consultation, that can be wrapped up into a later bid on that. But they've been really thorough trying to maximize space. And again, kudos again to the sheriff. We cannot do this without this. This is leftover encumbrance money or rollover money that he had in his budget that we will be doing that with. So it's a multitude of stages to get us to where we need, and this is one of the first steps. So we'll hopefully have some more people on board here. But thanks to Kyle, Melissa, and the sheriff for really helping move that along. Any other questions? Seeing none, meeting adjourned. And we're going to go right into rules.